So the people have been asking me for book recs, and I must deliver. Hey guys! We're back with another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Grace. And if you're not, it's nice to see you again. So today we're doing book, nope, Black romance recs done by Black authors. And it's specifically gonna have Black characters in it, whether one person is Black or both characters are Black. You know, there's something different about romances written by Black authors. There's more understanding, you feel more seen, and there's just different nuances that it's just hard to explain. I'm really excited about this video today because I have so many recs for you guys, and I don't know, I just love seeing Black women be loved down. So in this video today, there's going to be some books that kind of border on literary fiction, um, and then there's going to be a mix of like YA, a mix of everything. So yeah, I gave you guys a little bit of diversity with the book recs. And then I'm gonna make sure that I put the ratings underneath or like somewhere on the screen, because some of them I'm still deciding on. By the time I'm editing this video, I'll definitely have ratings for you guys. Oh, and yeah, before we get into it, I want to show you guys my heart socks. I don't know if you guys can see it. Ew! It'd be really embarrassing if you can't. But yeah, I love them so much and I wear them all the time. I got my chocolate. As you can see, I already got through like half of it. Um, yeah, I can't stop myself from eating chocolate, especially in February. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, so the first book I have for you guys is Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. This one is such a short book, but it's so powerful at the same time. It has such beautiful prose, and the love components of this are so like it's intertwined within the story. I just haven't seen this book recommended or like promoted as necessarily a Black romance book, but I think in several ways it is. It focuses on two black characters, and they're both British. They're both artists. He's a photographer and she's a dancer. There are such tender parts in this book that really encapsulate Black love, and it touched on so many different things. It's very poetic, and I just loved reading it. I just love reading it. I think if you are definitely like not a romance lover, but you want a bit of romance or you want something kind of candid, I would definitely recommend this to you. Another book I rec- Another book I want to recommend is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Oh my gosh, y'all. Obviously, this is a very like if you look on booktube or if you look on bookstagram, a lot of people recommend this book. But I can't stop talking about it. I talked about it in my end of year book tag that I'll link somewhere here. Um, but yeah, I just really love this book. This centers around Yasmin and Josiah, and they separated. I don't remember if they divorced. Did they divorce? I don't remember if they divorced officially, but I know they were definitely separated. They have literally like two kids. Do they have two kids? I think they have two kids. Or did they have one kid? Girl, this is so bad. Yes, yeah. A lot of stuff went down in the relationship. I definitely suggest looking up trigger warnings, basically for all of these recs, but for this one and the next one I'm going to show you. Um, so yeah, they have two kids. They're co-parenting, and there's something still there. And guys, when I tell you, this just felt so like I felt every touch, every look, every, every just everything. I just felt everything with these characters, and I absolutely love this book. Like, I am about to reread it, and I'm definitely gonna do a reading vlog about, that experience because it has been like a year. Oh, I just can't say enough good things. Like Kennedy Ryan ate down. She ate down in this book, and I don't know, you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. The next book I have is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This book is about Eva and Shane. They're two black writers, and basically they like met each other before when they were in high school, and they had a little moment. Now it's like, I don't remember how many years later. Oh, 15 years later they meet again, but turns out over these 15 years they've been talking to each other through their books. They've been talking to each other through their books, guys. Another book where it's like a second chance, and I never thought I'd like second chances, but ooh, something about Before I Let Go and 7 Days in June, I just eat it up. I ate it up. Anyways, you guys will just have to read it. You guys will just have to read it. It's such a good book, and I love the representation in Tia Williams's books. So yeah, the next book I'm gonna recommend is another one by Kennedy Ryan, and it's called Real. So basically, I'm just gonna give you guys the synopsis. One moment in the spotlight. For months, I stood by, understudy, waiting in the wings, preparing for my time to shine. I never imagined he would watch in the audience that night. Cannon Holmes, famous film director, fascinating, talented, fine before I could catch my breath. Everything changed. I went from backstage Broadway to center stage Hollywood, from being unknown to my name, Neva Saint, on everyone's lips. Cannon cast me in a star-studded Harlem Renaissance biopic, catapulting me into another stratosphere. But stars shine brightest in the dead of night. Forbidden attraction, scandal, and circumstances beyond my control jeopardized my dream. Could this one shot, the role of a lifetime, the love of a lifetime, cost me everything? Y'all, I love this book so much. Honestly, the side plot was a bit like, like it's very important, the work that he was doing, but I really just loved the romance and how Canon really just stood up for Neva and really just was so unabashed or like unashamed of their love and how they got together, even though it's like a director actor type of relationship. Oh, I just I can't wait to read this one again, and I've heard that the audiobook eats. So the next time that I read it, I will definitely make sure to do the audiobook. And if you are a first time reader of Real, I'd probably recommend doing both at the same time, just so you could get the experience that I didn't have. But you know what? It was a great book regardless. I loved Real so much. It's just, I already told you, I just, black women getting loved down. There's just something about it. It's a certain je ne sais quoi. I just love it so much. She was a fairy. The next one I have for you guys is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalala. I hope I didn't butcher that. But this book is about Kai and Kiki. They're two young black adults in college. There's like a radio station involved. Kiki is the head of it, where she just like talks about like she gives advice to the women of her college, especially that African Caribbean society at her college. Some of the descriptions of the food just, but anyways, we're not talking about the food, we're talking about the romance. So the romance between Kai and Kiki was just so, she was just such a powerhouse of a person, but then he comes in and they just mesh so well together. There are moments in this book that was just so soft and tender, where they fully understood each other. I don't know, there's just so many things about this book. Like, it's so funny. Oh my gosh, the friend group in this book. I love female friendships in books, especially in black books. I love it so much because there's something about friendship, and it's a different type of love than romantic love. The main character in it, Malachi Kai, he got her tickets to this convention, dressed up as the main character in this book, had discussions with her, got so involved in the book, and loved it so bad. I don't know, there's just something different about him. I made a few playlists for these books, and I made one for Honey and Spice. So if you guys want links to that, I'll make sure to put it on my Instagram. Just check through my links or my highlights. I'll make sure to put a link to that playlist in there. If you guys want like a more thorough description, I definitely recommend just checking out the book and, you know, reading through the prologue, reading through the synopsis for yourself because there's some things I'm missing. I promise you, all of these are interesting. I promise you. So the next book I'm going to recommend you guys is Outdrawn, and that's by Deanna Gray. So this one is like a slow burn, rivals to lovers, sapphic romance. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is the first time I'm reading a same-sex romance, but diverse reading means, you know, reading things of with different genders in it, different sexualities, different races, you know, like it encapsulates it all. That's the definition of diverse reading. So I definitely wanted to delve into it, and this is the perfect book for that. Noah and Sage, they are so cute together. Like they've been rivals for a long time, like since I think since college, and they're now in their like mid 20s, I think, mid or like a little bit older than that. It's 328 pages, but it develops so well. And then their story is just such a beautiful one and one that you can't help root for. Like you want these two people together and you're just like, get together already. I loved Outdrawn so bad, and I definitely recommend reading that one. Let's get this out the way. I recommend all of these books. This is more like a note to me, so I'm not like, I recommend this book, I recommend this book, I recommend all of them. The next story I'm going to recommend you guys is The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. For this one, I'm going to read the synopsis because I read this a bit ago, but I think that this synopsis will definitely encapsulate everything that you guys need to know, so I don't want to butcher it. In this heart-fluttering romance by Christina Forrest, the shy bookworm enlists her charming neighbor to help her score a date, not knowing he's the obscure author she's been corresponding with. Shy, bookish, and admittedly awkward, Lily Green has always felt inadequate compared to the rest of her accomplished family who strive for Black excellence. She dreams of becoming an editor of children's books, but has been frustratingly stuck in the nonfiction division for years without a promotion in sight. Lily finds escapism in her correspondences with her favorite fantasy author, and what begins as two lonely people connecting over email turns into a tentative friendship and possibly something else Lily won't let herself entertain until he ghosts her. Months later, still crushed but determined to take charge of her life, Lily seeks a date to her sister's wedding, and the perfect person to help her is Nick Brown, her charming, attractive new neighbor, whom she feels drawn to for unexplainable reasons. I know the reasons, girl. Little does she know that Nick is an author, her favorite fantasy author. Dun dun dun! Like, I just love it. Nick, who has his reasons for using a pen name and for pushing people away, soon realizes that the beautiful, quiet woman from down the hall is the same Lily he fell in love with over email months ago. Unwilling to complicate things even more between them, he agrees to set her up with someone else, though this simple favor between two neighbors is anything but, not when he can't get her off his mind. Wait. That was a lot. That was a lot. I don't know, I just love this book so much. I love watching their story unfold. The romance was there. I was laughing a whole bunch. Like I had tears in my eyes throughout multiple moments in this book. That if that doesn't tell you guys something, I don't know what else I could say to convince you. I don't know what else. But it ain't down. Nobody knows me like you. Nobody don't know me. So the next book I'm going to recommend to you guys, I don't even know what number we're at right now. But the next book I'm going to recommend is Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. This takes place over a week. The two main characters do know each other before that. Not that they don't have much scenes together because we don't really see the before. The male main character was best friends with her ex. And now they're both at the wedding for her ex and her sister. Like, I usually hate the trope of the ex and the sister, or even like currently dating and then your sister snides you or your brother I hate it. But in this book, the romance and everything else was just so strong and so good that I just had to overlook it. This is just such like a grown romance where they communicate well, they just grow to love each other for the people that they are. And I don't know, there's just something about mature romances that it just hits different. There's just something about that communication being there. Let's just clap it up for that one. So the next book I'm going to recommend is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This book is so good, y'all. They're ex-friends turned rivals to lovers. They're rekindling their friendship. They're learning new stuff about each other because it's been like a few years since they've talked. And now they're on their way to college. They're you know, setting up their futures, they're discovering what they want to do, going against their family's expectation. It was just so warm and so wholesome. And that's what I love about YA romances is like the love is just so pure and you're just there giggling. Like I was giggling so much during this book. I was cheesing. I just ate it up. And then I have a few more romances by Talia Hibbert that I want to highlight, but they're her adult books in the Brown Sisters series that she has. Get a Life Chloe Brown, she like came up with a list to basically get a life. And then Red comes in and he basically is helping her complete the list. So cute. It's like go camping, ride a motorcycle, enjoy a drunken night out, like stuff like that. It was so good, so good. And then the next book in the series that I read, I skipped Take a Hint, Danny Brown, because I just didn't really like the premise as much as the other two, but I would kind of recommend that too. Like go through the whole series. So this one is it's like a grumpy sunshine romance. Another trope I don't like. But in this one I ate it up because they just meshed so well together. And he wasn't like, maybe he was a little bit rude, but like not in a way that I was just like, ugh, I can't read this. Like I can't finish reading this. It's advertised as like enemies to lovers, but they're not really. It's like it's as enemies as you could get where it's not a fantasy. They have misunderstandings about each other and then they clear it up and you know, then they start falling for each other and the little touches and you know, the little nights out and you know, just the little moments and they build up and it's just so good. So good. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. Okay, last but not least, I have for you guys Mickey Chambers Shakes It Up by Cherish Reed. Another great book. Yeah, this is another book with a chronic illness representation. A lot of these books have chronic illness representation, which I love. Really to normalize it and you know just to put it in front of your face because a lot of people they don't know what goes on under the surface, and so I'm just so glad that a lot of these books have this type of representation. This book is about Mickey and Diego. Mickey is a teacher for college, and then Diego, who is running his late wife's bar, is picking up classes, and then it ends up being like a teacher student romance, but obviously it happens like when they're not student and teacher anymore. But they're grown. They're grown. Doesn't even matter if they were. She's like 30 something and he's like early 40s, I think. Yeah, 33 and 42. And I wouldn't even call this an age gap. I hate stuff promoted as age gap because they're grown. It's a regular romance. It's not anything like over 20 years or obscene or anything. But yeah, I'm getting away from the point. They're like trying to keep it professional while they have this like student teacher romance, whatever and whatnot. But then she also needs a job, and then she comes in looking for a job and ends up working under him. So it's like two different quote unquote forbidden romances, like student teacher and then what, bar owner or like worker and employer. It's just a good book. It's just a good book. And that is the last book I have for you guys. I think I want to make sure I touched on every single last book. Yeah, I'm just so glad to share with you guys these book recs. If you guys want recs like this all the time, I also share stuff on my Bookstagram and on my Substack, linked down in the description box below. I told you guys multiple times throughout this video, like I love reading about Black characters, and it could be nonfiction, fiction, or romances, especially because I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover girl. I love love. So yeah, if you want more recs like this or you want more videos like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you in the next one soon. Thank you guys for everything and for all the love that you have been showing in all my videos. So yeah, bye. I'm glad I could finally eat my chocolate. If I could get it open. I've been waiting to eat this all video, but I didn't want the chocolate to be in my being my tea. I'm waiting to eat this. There's just something. There's just something about chocolate and nuts. I needed that. Needed it.